Alright Marvel fans, let's dive into the action-packed world of Marvel Rivals. Today, we're breaking down the best DPS characters in the game. You know, the ones that make every punch, blast, or strike feel like a cinematic KO. Now, strategy has its place. Don't get me wrong, but let's be real. Sometimes you just want to go in guns blazing and melt enemies before they even know what hit them. And guess what? This game has no shortage of hard-hitting heroes, villains, and anti-heroes from across the Marvel multiverse to help you do just that. Now, while duelists are typically your go-to for insane damage per second, don't sleep on the Vanguard and Strategist classes. These characters can definitely bring the heat too. Plus, it's not just about their raw power. Oh no, their abilities are where the real magic happens, giving you those clutch plays that can turn the tide of any match. So, buckle up and let's find out who's topping the DPS charts in Marvel Rivals. I'm quickly moving on to the video. Before we start, if you enjoy these types of list videos, don't forget to like the video and subscribe. Enjoy watching! Here's the thing. When it comes to raw, unfiltered damage in Marvel Rivals, few characters can step into the arena and make enemies regret their life choices quite like Wolverine. This guy doesn't just bring claws to a fight, he brings chaos. Logan's adamantium blades aren't just for show, they're for slashing, slicing, and dicing through even the tankiest of foes. And when his Berserker Rage kicks in, oh buddy, it's game over for anyone standing in his way. What sets Wolverine apart isn't just his high DPS, it's his insane survivability. Thanks to his healing factor, Logan doesn't have to babysit a strategist for heals. He jumps into the brawl, takes some hits, dishes out way more, and just keeps on going like nothing happened. Add his lunge ability into the mix, and you've got a move that can absolutely end an opponent in one well-timed strike. Seriously, watching someone go from full health to zero in an instant? Chef's kiss. But here's the kicker. Wolverine isn't just about brute force. He's got this versatility that makes him a threat in almost any scenario. Whether you're melting through heavy characters or disrupting squishy backliners, Logan adapts and dominates. So if you're looking for a character who's got the claws, the healing, and a whole lot of attitude, Wolverine is the pick for DPS. Play him right, and you'll make every fight look like it's straight out of a comic panel. Alright, let's talk about Penny Parker, aka the queen of why is everything exploding around me right now. Seriously, her mech is like a walking fireworks display, except instead of pretty lights, it's all heavy cannons, drones, and mines raining chaos. If you're looking for a DPS powerhouse in Marvel Rivals, Penny is your girl. Just don't let her adorable anime aesthetic fool you. This Vanguard class is all about devastating power, wrapped in an 8-legged death machine. Now, here's the deal with Penny. Her basic attack isn't just basic. Those shoulder-mounted cannons, they're rapid, precise, and hit like a truck. But wait, there's more. Drop a few arachnomines around the battlefield, and her spider nest ability sends out drones that hunt down enemies like heat-seeking missiles. Throw in her web snare, and you've got a deadly combo that can trap and obliterate entire teams in seconds. It's like Penny whispers, "Run!" but there's nowhere to go. But let's not ignore her team-up ability with Venom. It's the cherry on top of this destructive sundae. The symbiote barrier not only looks terrifying, but it also deals damage to anyone unlucky enough to get close. However, there's a catch. Penny's mech is big and not exactly nimble. It's a magnet for enemy fire, so while she's dishing out damage like a champ, you've got to keep an eye on her positioning. New players might think she's invincible, but trust me, this spider's got her limits. Play smart, and you'll be dominating the leaderboards in no time. Alright, let's talk about a character that doesn't just enter the battlefield. He owns it. Venom, the symbiotic powerhouse, is here to show why he's one of the best DPS characters in Marvel Rivals. Now, I know what you're thinking. Big guy, sharp claws, slow attacks, right? Wrong. Venom isn't your typical bruiser. This guy is a 4-tendril nightmare, striking with the speed and precision of a 4-round burst weapon. Each hit chips away at your opponent's health like it's nobody's business, and trust me, it adds up fast. But wait, it gets better. Venom doesn't just rely on raw damage, he's got control. His cellular collision ability is the ultimate no-escape card. This bad boy slows down enemies, making them sitting ducks for his tendril barrage. Picture it. Your enemy thinks they can flee, but nope! They're stuck, and Venom is right there to finish the job. Add in his ability to swing across the map with insane speed, and you've got a flanking master who can pop up where you least expect him. And the cherry on top? The explosive symbiote strike. Venom doesn't just run away when things get dicey, he swings back in and drops a surprise attack that'll leave your enemies reeling. He's the perfect blend of aggression and strategy, making him an absolute must-have for any DPS-focused team. Seriously, if Venom isn't already on your roster, what are you even doing? Alright, let's talk about the Queen of Chaos herself, Scarlet Witch. You know, chaos magic isn't just a fancy term, it's the kind of power that makes enemies rethink their life choices. Seriously, Scarlet Witch is the duelist you want when precision feels like a chore, because her main attack literally hunts down opponents. It locks onto them, drains their life like some magical vampire, and leaves them wondering why they even queued up for this match. It's almost unfair. Almost. But wait, Wanda's just getting warmed up. Her secondary attacks are bursts of chaos magic that practically scream, "Stay out of my way." And if that wasn't enough, she has this insane barrier ability that deals damage while you're inside it. Imagine trying to escape only to realize the barrier's not just keeping you out, it's punishing you for being in her personal space. At this point, it's less of a fight and more of a survival game for her opponents. Good luck with that. Oh, and her ultimate? Absolute madness. Picture this, an explosion of chaos magic that just nukes the area around her. It's devastating, and I mean that literally. Very few characters can walk away from it. It's no wonder the community collectively flinches when Scarlet Witch shows up in a match. She's not just a duelist, she's a walking, talking boss battle. And the best part? She's all yours if you can handle the sheer power. Here's a duo that's as dazzling as they are deadly, Cloak and Dagger. Seriously, if you're not already playing these two, what are you doing? This tag team wonder isn't just about flashy moves, they're one of the most versatile strategists in Marvel Rivals. It's like getting two heroes for the price of one, and both come with game-changing abilities that will make your opponents want to rage quit. Let's start with Dagger. She's not here to out-damage anyone, but her healing? Chef's kiss. Her ability to keep your team alive is unmatched, and in the chaos of battle, she feels like a walking, glowing insurance policy. But here's the kicker. She's only half the package. Swap her out for Cloak, and boom, the whole vibe changes. Cloak brings the pain with devastating life-draining attacks that rival Scarlet Witch herself. Plus, he's got crowd control abilities like stunning and blinding enemies, which is Chef's Kiss Part 2. What makes Cloak and Dagger truly terrifying is how they combine the roles of strategist and duelist. You'll be healing your team 1 second and obliterating your enemies the next. It's the ultimate bait-and-switch strategy that keeps your opponents guessing, and trust me, frustrated. So, if you're looking to dominate the battlefield and have a little fun while you're at it, Cloak and Dagger are the dynamic duo you need in your squad. Alright, let's talk about one of the coolest and sneakiest damage dealers in Marvel Rivals, Moon Knight. Picture this, you're mid-fight, everything's chaotic, and suddenly crescent darts are flying at you from nowhere. Yeah, that's Moon Knight for you, Khonshu's favorite agent of vengeance. He doesn't just show up to the fight, he dominates it with a perfect blend of finesse and chaos. And let me tell you, it's a lot of fun to watch him in action. Now, here's where things get spicy. Moon Knight isn't just about throwing those crescent darts, although triple dart action is already scary enough. His anks are where the real mind games begin. These bad boys are turret traps that zap anyone dumb enough to step into their range. It's like he sets the stage for his enemy's demise, then glides in. Literally, because yes, he can glide, and wreaks havoc. The combination of traps and speed? Chef's kiss. He's flanking, disappearing, reappearing, and keeping everyone guessing. Just don't expect him to tank damage. Duelists like him trade high health for insane mobility and damage, and we haven't even gotten to his ultimate yet. This guy calls down Khonshu to smite his enemies. Yep, literal divine intervention. Combine that with his traps and darts, and it's game over for anyone in his way. Moon Knight is the definition of calculated chaos, fast, relentless, and downright terrifying. So, if you're looking for a DPS character who doesn't just hit hard but keeps your enemies constantly on edge, Moon Knight's your guy. Just remember, play smart, and you'll have the opposition running for cover. Alright, let's talk about the wall-crawling, web-slinging dynamo himself, SpiderMan. If you're diving into Marvel Rivals thinking Spidey's gonna feel like a carbon copy of the Marvel Spider-Man games, oh boy, you're in for a wild ride. This isn't your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man strolling through Manhattan. Here, he's a high-risk, high-reward duelist who demands precision, quick thinking, and a solid strategy. Step out of line for a second, and BAM! Your opponents will have you eating dirt faster than you can say, with great power. So, what makes Spider-Man so exhilarating, yet so tricky? It's his insane speed. Web zipping across the battlefield, chaining punches, and zipping back out before the enemy can react is where he shines. He's not the tanky type, far from it, so if you're not zipping, you're slipping. But when you master that mobility, oh, it's like poetry in motion. And don't even get me started on his ultimate ability. It's a beast, almost on par with Scarlet Witch's Chaos Storm, but here's the kicker. It leaves him totally vulnerable. If you mistime it, well, you've just handed your enemies a golden ticket to knock you out. Bottom line, SpiderMan is one of the best DPS characters in Marvel Rivals for players who can handle the pressure. He's not a pick-up-and-play kind of hero, he's the guy you pick when you want to feel the adrenaline. He's complex, he's fast, and yeah, he's a little squishy, but if you can keep your cool and outthink your enemies, you'll be dishing out damage like nobody's business. Just remember, with great power comes great responsibility. And probably a lot of respawns if you're not careful. Picture this, you're in the middle of a heated match in Marvel Rivals, and suddenly StarLord comes soaring in, dual-wielding those iconic element guns. This guy doesn't just fight, he performs. Think of him as Overwatch's Tracer with a jetpack and a whole lot of swagger. His rapid-fire pistols shred through enemies like paper, and thanks to his slick flip reload ability, he barely ever pauses. It's like he's dancing across the battlefield while everyone else scrambles to keep up. And then, just when you think you've got him cornered, StarLord hits you with his blaster barrage. Picture a whirlwind of energy blasts coming from every direction. Chaos, destruction, and sheer awesomeness all rolled into one. This move can take out an entire squad if they're not careful, leaving them wondering what just happened. But wait, he's not done yet. With Galactic Legend, StarLord locks onto enemies and ensures every single shot hits its mark. No misses, no mercy. It's game over for anyone in his line of sight. What makes StarLord even more fun is how fluid and relentless his gameplay feels. You're always on the move, always firing, and always a threat. He's the kind of duelist that rewards aggression and style, making him one of the best DPS characters in the game. If you want to dominate while feeling like the coolest guy in the galaxy, StarLord's got your back. Alright, let's talk about Iron Fist. The guy who doesn't just live up to his name, he punches that expectation straight through a wall. If you've ever been on the receiving end of his magical barrage of punches in Marvel Rivals, you probably understand why he's one of the most complained about characters in the community. This duelist-class hero has turned more matches into highlight reels than we can count, and for good reason. Overpowered? Yeah, that's the word on the street, and honestly, it's not hard to see why. Here's the deal. Iron Fist doesn't just fight. You feel every hit. He absorbs enemy attacks like a sponge, then turns them into a symphony of magical pain that even the tankiest vanguards can't withstand. Oh, and did I mention he can heal himself? That's right. While you're out here praying for a med pack, Iron Fist is just vibing, patching himself up mid-wall run like he's starring in his own action movie. Add a healer to his team, and you've got yourself a walking nightmare that seems downright unfair. But it's not just about the punches and the healing. Iron Fist has this finesse that makes him as fun to play as he is infuriating to fight. Wall running? Check. Melee-based special attacks? Double check. When he's in the right hands, he can dominate the battlefield so hard it makes you wonder if maybe he deserves a nerf. But hey, until that day comes, Iron Fist mains are out here living their best lives, while the rest of us are stuck in the respawn queue. Classic Iron Fist. Let's talk about the Punisher, the walking weapons cache you didn't know you needed on your team. Frank Castle is the definition of a damage dealer in Marvel Rivals. If you love classic shooters, this guy's a dream. Assault rifles, shotguns, smoke grenade launchers, and a deployable machine gun turret. It's like he's raiding an arms depot before every match. And let's not forget his ultimate ability, a full-on exosuit packed with even more firepower. In just a few seconds, you can erase any opponent who dares cross your path. No big deal, right? What makes the Punisher especially fun to play is just how easy he is to get into. No complicated combos or super slick tactics. All you need is a bit of aim and an itchy trigger finger, and suddenly, you're the one wiping out teams. Even if you're a complete newbie to the game, Frank Castle is here to make you feel like a seasoned pro. He can shred through enemies without breaking a sweat, and when paired with the right strategist, forget about it. You'll be unstoppable. Now, let's be real. He's not about flashy moves or mind games. The Punisher's all about raw damage. If you want to rack up those kills and leave a trail of destruction behind, he's your guy. Whether you're just starting out or you've got a few matches under your belt, the Punisher's simplicity and pure firepower make him one of the best DPS characters in Marvel Rivals. So grab that assault rifle, aim carefully, and let the enemy team know what happens when you bring the pain. The video ends here. See you in another video. Don't forget to subscribe.